Hi there. Today we're going to be evaluating rational exponents, aka we are going to be simplifying expressions that contain rational exponents. If your expression starts off with all numbers in it, like you see here in 1 through 4, your answer will be a number. The calculations happening in the background for these involve some pretty large numbers and doing both radicals and exponents in your head that, quite frankly, most people just don't do in their head. So I'm going to show you how to use a Desmos calculator for that. I would strongly recommend using a calculator, preferably not a phone calculator. Preferably do use Desmos because that's the way I'll be showing you, but you could use a handheld calculator as well. Some expressions like 5 through 8, I'm going to scroll here for a second, have both numbers and variables in them, which means your final answer will have a number and a variable in it as well. And again, I'll show you how to use Desmos to help you with those ones as well. So let's just dive right in. Number 1 is 64 to the 7 over 6 power. If you think back to the last lesson, that means the same thing as 64. 6 is the type of root, and 7 is the exponent. So taking the 6th root of 64 and then raising that to the 7th power. Most people do not do 6th roots in their head. Most people do not do 7th powers in their head. So we're not rearranging today. That's not the end goal. I just want to tell you what that meant the same as and what math is happening in the background. So we're not going to do that for today. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to find what number this is equivalent to. And because, like I said, some kind of complicated stuff going on in the background here, it's going to be easier to use Desmos. So in Desmos, you're going to type in exactly what you see. Type in your base 64. To get any exponent that's not 2, you're going to hit this A to the B button. And then you also need to get a fraction up in that exponent. So go ahead and hit your division key and see how it gives you space to write in a fraction exponent. Now you just got to fill in the numbers. So 7 is the top number, 6 is the bottom number. Boom, Desmos does all the hard work for you. 64 to the 7 over 6 power is the same as 128. And then we're going to do the same process for 2, 3, and 4. So again, for number 2, type in your base 25, A to the B button to get your exponent, division key to make that exponent a fraction, fill in the numbers, 3 over 2, and we get 125. This one I'll quickly walk you through because the numbers aren't too crazy. So thinking back to the last lesson, that means doing the square root of 25 and raising it to the 3rd power. Square root of 25 is 5. 5 to the 3rd is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. So it all checks out. Most of them, though, are going to be pretty hard to do in your head, which is why I'm showing you the calculator way. Number 3, type in your base 64. A to B to get your exponent. Division key to make it a fraction. Filling in that fraction, we get that 64 to the 2/3 power is 16. Last but not least, 343. A to the B, division key to make it a fraction. 4 over 3, we get 2,401. So notice sometimes we're going to get some kind of big numbers for these, and that is perfectly fine. Don't let them scare you. Generally speaking, if the top number of your fraction is bigger than the bottom number of your fraction, your answer will be bigger than your base was. If the bottom number is bigger, then your answer will be smaller than your base was, just to help you kind of make sure your answers make sense. But again, if you're typing into a calculator, oops, did not mean to do that, pretty much no way to mess these up as long as you type things in correctly. Now for the rest of these, like I said, we've got a number and a variable. So our answer will have a number and a variable in it. We've got to think back to some of our exponent rules here. So I'm going to write it out up here. In the past, when I had x, I got all kinds of stuff popping up here, to the a raised to the b power, the way I handled that was x, and then I multiplied those exponents together, a times b. If I had multiple things inside the parentheses, everything inside the parentheses got whatever exponent was on the outside. And we'll have to kind of use both of those today in order to simplify 5 through 8. So we're going to start by writing some things by hand, but ultimately we'll use the calculator to help us find our final answer. The first thing I need to do is give that 4/5 power to 32. What I'm writing here is kind of an in-between step. It's not our final answer. And I need to give it to end the 10, but since I already have an exponent here on 10, I'm thinking 10 times 4 over 5. Make that look more like a 4 instead of a 9. 1 second. There we go. Okay, from here, we're going to do things in the calculator. This part is exactly like we just did. So I'm going to type that into Desmos. 32 a to the b division 4 over 5. That part gives me 16. And then we know that for the other part, we do need to multiply 10 times 4 over 5 to get our new power on n. So I can't put the n part in Desmos, but I can do 10 times 4 over 5, and I get 8. So I basically did all that in the calculator. I just needed to know exactly how to type things in. So our final answer here is 16n to the 8. Let's try another one. So I've got 64 to the 2 over 3, x to the 3 times 2 over 3. Let's do 64 to the 2 over 3 in Desmos. So 64 a to the b division 2 over 3. That gives us 16 for the number part. For the x part, it's going to be x to whatever 3 times 2/3 is. So we can do that in Desmos. 3 times 2 over 3, and we get 2. Our final answer here is 16x squared. 2 more to just make sure we really got the hang of it. 81 to the 1/2, n to the 6 times 1/2. Use Desmos to help you out. 81 to the 1 over 2 gives us 9. And then 6 times 1/2 means that the n exponent is 3. So we get 9n to the 3rd. Last one, 49 to the 3 over 2, k to the 4 times 3 over 2. In Desmos, 49 to the 3 over 2 gives us 343. For the k exponent, we're multiplying 4 times 3 over 2, and we get 6. The final answer, 343 k to the 6th power. So quick recap. Use Desmos to help you with these, especially with doing the fraction exponent powers, because it involves some big numbers in the background. If your original problem is just numbers, your answer will be a number. If your original problem has a number and a variable in it, your answer will have a number and a variable in it. That is it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day.